Property tycoon Ong Beng Seng's guilty plea has been postponed after his legal team requested more time to obtain medical reports. Ong was scheduled to plead guilty on 2 April 2025 to a charge of abetting the obstruction of justice in a case linked to former Transport Minister S Iswaran. A spokesperson for Ong confirmed that during a pre-trial conference on 26 March, his lawyers sought additional time to compile detailed medical reports regarding his condition, ongoing monitoring, and required treatment. This will ensure that all relevant information can be presented to and appropriately considered by the prosecution and the court, the spokesperson said, according to a report by Channel News Asia. Consequently, the plea hearing will be rescheduled once the medical documents are obtained. Ong, the managing director of Hotel Properties Limited, was charged on 4 October 2024 with abetting a public servant in receiving gifts and abetting the obstruction of justice. He is represented by a legal team that includes Aaron Lee from Allen and Gledhill. The case stems from an alleged incident in December 2022, in which Ong reportedly instigated Iswaran to accept a trip to Doha, valued at approximately 20,850 Singapore dollars. The trip included a private jet flight from Singapore to Doha, a one-night stay at the Four Seasons Hotel Doha worth 4,737.63 Singapore dollars, and a business-class return flight to Singapore valued at 5,700 Singapore dollars. Court documents state that in May 2023, after the Corrupt Practices Investigation Bureau had begun its probe, Ong warned Iswaran that authorities had seized the flight manifest for the trip. This allegedly led Iswaran to request an invoice from Ong for the flight in an attempt to conceal the transaction. Ong was one of several individuals investigated by CPIB in connection with the case against Iswaran, who was sentenced to 12 months in prison on 3 October 2024. Iswaran had faced 35 charges, most of which were linked to Ong, and was convicted of accepting valuable items as a public servant and obstructing justice. The Attorney General's Chambers has stated that no additional charges will be brought against Ong. However, he still faces the potential consequences of his existing charge, which carries a maximum penalty of 7 years imprisonment, a fine, or both. In a Singapore Exchange announcement on 28 February 2025, HPL disclosed that Ong intends to plead guilty to obstruction of justice, with the other charge being taken into consideration for sentencing. Despite the charges, HPL affirmed Ong's continued suitability to serve as its managing director. Ong, a Singapore-based Malaysian businessman, is best known for bringing Formula 10 Singapore in 2008, securing its place as the sport's first ever night race. He owns the rights to the Singapore Grand Prix and played a key role in negotiations with then F1 chief executive Bernie Ecclestone. During these discussions, Iswaran served as chairman of the F1 steering committee and was the lead negotiator for business matters related to the race. Their partnership in securing F1's presence in Singapore has now become a central part of the corruption case. With the plea hearing postponed, Ong's next court appearance will be a pre-trial conference on 25 April 2025. The rescheduled guilty plea hearing will be determined once his medical reports are finalized. If convicted of abetting obstruction of justice, Ong could face up to 7 years in prison, a fine, or both.